Okay, I know we're gonna eat. It's okay. We're okay. Shh. You're okay, sweet boy. You're okay. We're gonna eat. I know. I know. I know. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna eat. I know. We're gonna eat. That's why I said you're certainly acting normal. Having that big giant red thing on you, on your nipple. Looks like it's gonna explode. There's no pus or anything. Okay, okay. Now listen, we've got less food here. Because you did throw up last night a little bit. Not right away, hours later. I picked you up after you'd been sleeping. I think it could be just that you had eaten too much. So I'm going to give you a lot less. I have it split into 4. I know, baby. There you go. There you go, baby. I hope you don't throw up. I hope you don't throw up. Could have been regurgitation, too. I don't know. They say if it looks like the food, then it might not be. It's not solid, but it looked like the food just, It's okay. I know. I know. I know. Enough, dog. Oh. See, he's definitely got his appetite. Drank water too in the middle of the night. Wasn't gonna give him any food after he threw up, of course. We waited 12 hours and he didn't throw up again, so I think it was a one-off thing. I think he's okay in terms of that. Not in terms of that. Lord only knows what that is. Look at that. That's not good. That's not good. My common sense tells me that can't be good. The vet can't diagnose him over by a picture, though. We can bring him in. It's okay, I got you. I got my little baby. Mama's got the baby. Mama loves the baby. Okay, breathe slow. Breathe slow. I already went one day. I didn't. Remember I said I'm gonna. Today starts the day I take care of my teeth. I had the scaling 2 days ago, and I didn't do anything yesterday. I have to find that gadget. I have to charge it. I have to see if it even works. Probably very few people in this life who do what I do, buying things and then not even seeing if they work. And then if they don't work, it's too late to do anything about it. I told you when I took him in October to get his rabies. And she says, the next one will be in 3 years. I'm like, yeah, if he survives that long. And she's like, he just might. And then he wound up having all these problems after that. But that happens to people too. Omar's older than my mother. Dog years. Right? Older than my mom and dog years. 16 times 7. She's in the 80s in dog years. Grandma's in her 70s. whatever that is, it probably just happened, which means it hasn't had a chance to, you know what I mean? We can treat it probably with antibiotics, whatever's going on. Maybe she can drain it, poke it or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be bothering you at all, that's for sure. See, when he eats, he's like my old puppy. He eats, he loves to eat, he's like my old puppy. When he's asleep in my arms, he's like my old puppy. It's just, even when he's asleep in the pen and snoring, it's just when he can't get up. He doesn't like it, he can't take it, he doesn't. There you go, my special baby. Mom went out with her friend to do errands and couldn't go in the grocery store, and I didn't give her the credit card because I'm like, we're expecting a huge grocery order, Mom. We don't need anything from the grocery store. But I did have some cash, so I gave her $10. So, you could buy yourself something for lunch. Take your friend out for ice cream. $10 will buy a Dunkin' Donuts for sandwich and coffee, iced coffee. Someone wanted to get that person. You still love to eat, huh? You're not spoiled. Don't you, baby? Love to eat. And after he eats, he'll sleep for a good 3 hours. But that only gives me 3 hours. If I have to go to an appointment all day and take pastas and whatever, it takes longer than 3 hours, you know. The appointment itself takes an hour. I'm waiting around and everything else. I'm gone longer than 3 hours. So yeah, my mom loves that squirt in a medium, so I'll at least get to see it on her. I'm returning mine. I'm not going to keep something that I won't wear out in public. Less food here, so we're going to eat slower, okay? There's less food to make sure you don't throw up. Okay, sweet boy. I'll make sure I give it to you 4 times. Sometimes when I give you more food, I want to give it to you 3 times, especially when I'm not home. I'm gone all day. Feed him in the morning, always, of course. And, you know, by the time I get home, I'm not going to squish in 3 meals, you just have 2 more. But maybe he can't have them so big. It's okay, baby. I've seen them, but it's on his nipple, you know. But I've seen online where the dogs, like, I've seen people write stuff. They've even had pictures, like, yeah, my dog has this huge mass, this huge growth, but it doesn't seem to bother him, and, you know, it's not cancerous. But again, this is his nipple that turned into a big red swollen thing. That cannot be normal. That can't be good. That's got to be something bad. We'll find out, won't we? Find out what this is. What is this, honey? What is that? Look at that. That's not good. Looks like cancer to me. His nipple turned into it got all agitated, you know, it got irritated, obviously. And that's in danger of being infected. It probably already is infected. Maybe it can be popped. I don't know. I was like, just take him to the vets. We won't have any presents. We won't do anything for our birthdays. You know. Reminds me of Shane. He had ear mites when I was a little girl. I just want to treat Shane's ear mites. I don't have to have Christmas. I treat Shane's ear mites and I don't need to have Christmas presents. I would say that in a heartbeat, you know. So, all these decades later, my mom said it. You can take him to the vets, Laura. We won't celebrate our birthdays. We won't have presents for our birthdays. Yeah. It doesn't change the fact that he's so old, Mama, and I don't know if that might think that it's time to let him go. You love to eat. Yes, you do. Your mama's puppy. Your mama's puppy. I see you like this. Mama's puppy. Remember, I never had kids, so I didn't want kids, but this dog's my kid. Me, it's like putting my kid to sleep. You know? Ducky's my kid. We've been through hell and back, huh? Including living on the streets of Hollywood and California, and Mar Vista and Santa Monica and Culver City, all combined for a week, right? I have proof of it in video. If anyone was so inclined to deny it or think I'm making it up. Look at that fucking thing. That is ridiculous. That looks like cancer. That looks like cancer. That does not look good at all. That does not look good, baby. We're gonna find out what it is. And if we can afford to treat it. We're going to find out what it is. Because we have an awesome vet who cares. If she views it as a potential emergency, she'll squish you in. She will squish you in, pug dog. And we're going to see if we can afford to treat it, whatever it is. It's not something major. I don't know. My vet and I talked about what I already was aware of. She's like, yeah, they get that old and they get wheeled around in baby carriages, which I've seen dogs, pugs wheeled around in baby carriages, little dogs, whatever. Okay, but do those dogs, those pugs, accept that they can't get up and then injure themselves doing what Omar does, struggling to get up when he can't? That's the thing. If they're unable to get up, they have to stay in pens too. So I don't know. I do know she's right about that, though. It's common that they lose the use of their back legs, and that and a number of other things happened to that guy I'd met for the first time in my life, who was from my mom's church and drove me and Omar just a couple of weeks ago to the Deja vu. I said, I couldn't remember his name, like, can he drive us? And Mom was like, I don't know, he might be on vacation. Find us a ride, Mom. Especially if I might have to have him euthanized. I can't take it, and I'm going to wind up fainting and smashing my head. He's still alive and well now, and I was hyperventilating and barely able to breathe out there about a half hour ago, so that tells you about me. I'm not joking. The reality of it, and I realized it was really gonna happen, I could be in danger. I could get hurt. I can't, tell my mind or my emotions, you can't behave this way because you might get hurt. You might faint and smash your head. It happens helplessly. You know what I mean? It happens helplessly. I once decades ago, I scared the shit out of my eye doctor, decades ago. Probably when I was in my 20s or something. Because he was trying to tease me and telling me that he had to poke me in the eye with this needle this big, and I fainted in front of him. He's like, oh my God, I'll never do that to a patient again. You fainted, your eyes rolled back in the back of your head, and you fainted with your eyes like open or something. Scared me, and because that's what happened. It happened, I didn't consciously do it. I didn't consciously faint when he's telling me he's going to poke me in the eye with this giant needle. Serve him right. He's like, yeah, I'll never tease any other patient of mine again. I bet he didn't. Scared him. He told me. And I woke up. So that should tell you, okay? I can faint. And the reality of putting where I'm about to murder, having the vet do that, having the vet kill my 16-year-old baby I've had for 16 years, I might helplessly, something might happen. I could get dizzy, I could faint, I could smash my head, That's why I was thinking of doing it, having a home thing. And Joe said he would lend me the money. It's a lot more money. It's like 5 times as much almost than you pay in the vets. But you get the privacy of your own home. Where if I'm feeling faint and sick and hyperventilating, I can lie down and go to sleep. I can sit down on the couch, I don't have to be in a cold vet's office surrounded by strangers. I would never do what some people do, ever, ever, ever. There are some who can't bear it and they leave the dog alone with the vet, and never would I do that. That's why I'm terrified I could faint, because I would never leave him alone. I would be there while it was happening. There are horror stories. It wouldn't happen with my vet. I can trust her, but there are horror stories where people were writing on Quora that they witnessed a vet that wasn't able to get the whatever it is in correctly or something, and kept stabbing at the poor dog, and you know, the pet parents weren't there to say stop it. So it ended up dying horrifically, horrific death, just terrified, horrific, painful death, because the parents weren't strong enough. They were you know, selfish, and said we can't watch this. We can't watch it. They loved the dog too much to watch it, and it ended up very badly for the dog. But they never found out. It's just the vet technician was horrified at the arrogance of the vet. That I don't know the logistics of it, but I read it on Quora, and it was heartbreaking. The fact is, you owe it. You owe it to your pet to sit there while the pet's euthanized. You owe it to him or her. No matter how painful it is for you, you owe it to your beloved pet who's been there for you. It's selfish to say, I can't do it. It's too painful for me. You know? But in my instance, I'm too emotional, and I could be in danger of falling, fainting, and then I'd be hurt in the hospital. You know, I'd be hurt in the hospital, wouldn't be here to protect my mother, and my dog would still be dead. Or I could agree to do it, and then reality could hit and be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Just thinking about doing it is killing me already. I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to sleep. I shut my phone off. I just want to go to sleep. Tell my mom not to bother me. Tell her there's no dinner. She can have cereal for dinner. Maybe she got herself something for lunch. Nice, good, yummy. They must have decided to do something, because they were at the store. Not around here, but still, it doesn't take that long, and they didn't come back, so they must have decided to do something else. I just want to sleep. Why'd you have to do that to your nipple, honey? I know it's because you aggravated it, struggling to get up. Probably when I was gone. Longer than 3 hours. Nothing I can do. I had to go to the dentist. He sleeps. Like, even my mom said he woke up a couple hours ago. He can do a lot of damage to himself in a couple hours of being upset, you know. So, I'm going to take him to the vet and see how much it costs. We won't eat this month. We have plenty of food anyway. Come back and do this. My mom would say it too. She loves Omar. Okay, she loves Omar, and it doesn't even matter that she doesn't even really get to see him anymore, pet him much or whatever. It's just the idea of him being here and being alive. And, you know. She's in denial. Even when she sees him struggling to walk, she's like, he wants to live. No, you're projecting, Mom. You want to live. He can't talk. We don't know how he feels. That thing's not painful. I can touch it. I can whatever. He doesn't, you know. He's not in any pain. I don't know. Maybe it can just be drained rather than removed. I don't know. We could do that. Look at it. Just want to know what's going on. Just want you to live forever. Probably not good me touching it either, but nothing I can do about it. I have to touch it to pick him up, you know? Everything going on now is because he's so old and he has to, I have to hand feed him, I have to pick him up. Now I have to touch that. But maybe it can be drained or have a bandage put on it, and then I'm not touching it directly with my hands. I don't know. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I hope you don't throw up. We're eating slow, and we're not going to eat that much either. We're not going to eat that much, okay? Keep an eye on you. Make sure you don't